Alright, I will try to make this video somewhat concise, and I'll try to make it so it's not too shaky. I'm recording with my iPad, but just going to go over a couple of things with your new custom-made guitar and give you a little bit of an idea of how it sounds. Right now, if you listen really close, you might be able to hear a little bit of a hum from the speakers. That's not the guitar. Nothing's turned up, so that's just speaker and amp sound, if you can hear it. And so then, just so that you can distinguish once I actually turn the volume up on the guitar for you to hear the difference there. So anyway, a couple things with it. We have got these go-to locking tuners, which in order to loosen your string, you're just going to turn this counterclockwise. And you'll notice with the strings, we get right up there, there's not a lot of string wound around. I have, let's see, I have a couple, maybe the smaller ones I might wind around a couple of times, but otherwise you can just essentially take your string, pull it through, lock it, and it'll hold in place, which is really handy when it comes to keeping these I'm not even sure the end of the string here, which hooks onto the Bigsby. When you hook that on there, it's nice to keep that tight. It goes underneath here and then over the rollers. Now these rollers, just so you're aware, I'll try and get a good shot of that. So on the bridge are these rollers. Now those rollers, if you loosen the string, you can spin those and they will move one direction or the other. That will change the alignment of your strings. So here's your strings, how they are on there right now. If, say, you want to move this string out further, you could actually come down here and roll it over to this side, and it will actually move that. The one thing you want to watch for is the consistency on the fretboard of the space between the strings, so that your fingers can feel as though it's the right space between the strings. So that's something to be aware of. The other thing is a couple of adjustments that you may or may not want to make. I've got the strings quite close to the fretboard. I'll see if we can get a shot of that. Might be a little blurry, but there we go. There's our space between the strings and the frets. What that does is, if I play it without any volume, well, there's nothing rattling there now, but sometimes you might just get the slightest little bit of rattle with new strings on the frets themselves, but you'll never hear it through the amplifier. But if you want the strings a little bit further away from the fretboard, right down here on the side. Hey, I ate a Buffalo Wild Wings last night, and you can see the yellow on my fingers yet from the sauces. Nice, that's really pretty. Anyway, turn this counterclockwise, and that will raise this side. It will raise this side of your bridge up. This one, counterclockwise, and it'll raise this side up. And that'll obviously move the strings further away from the fretboard. I've got the truss rod, which your truss rod cover up here. I've got the truss rod tightened so that this is a pretty straight, flat fretboard right now. If it seems like, because of different climate changes, if you find that in the middle that it's fretting out, you may want to take the truss rod cover off and counterclockwise about 1/4 of a turn is all at a time to loosen, which would make the fretboard bend in this way, allowing the strings to be able to play without fretting out, without buzzing. Right now, it's for our climate where I'm at right now, it's set perfect, but a lot of guys don't know how to adjust their truss rod. Just watch YouTube if you need some more information on